Hello, welcome to Gulotta Studios. May 17th, we're going to be doing a little demo working on the latest Cityscapes painting, number 10. So here we've got a very summery piece. I'm going to bring the camera a little closer just so you can see a little better what we're talking about here. There we go. This is the painting as it stands today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue working on it here with palette knives. And again, I'm bringing out some of my very favorite special palette knives. This one, which is made famous by Mr. Bob Ross. And these new artisan ones that have all kinds of strange, look at this guy. You see it behind my beard there. There we go. See, that's why I have the beard, so you can see these things. And this one here with these funny crinkles on the edges, and of course the ever popular scalloped edge. You can just see that right there. It's scalloped at the edge. Looks sharp, but it's not. All right, so I've got my palette knives all set up, and I've got actually 3 layers of color. I've got some blues, I have flesh tones, and I have some deep reds and purples. So I'm going to use those today and see what I can do for this painting. And one of the things that I am going to do is I'm going to use the darker colors first. And one of the things I want to grab right off the bat is I had an idea for these little areas here being tree-like. I'm just going to bring in some shadows. You can hear how I'm scraping away here. There we go. Just press it in and then streak it over. You get kind of that rough bark-like feeling. All right, we're going to do that again with some more darker colors. I'm going to bring in from the same direction because light's coming from here, so all my shadows are going to be right down here. I'm going to bring this one in. There we go. And then I'm going to bring this one in because this one seems to be right here. That's kind of fun. It's already got some color for it. And then I got this little guy here who seems very fond of being very showy. That's a very showy little tree there. Let's bring that in again. And again, I just put a roll of paint. You don't want to glop up the knife. That actually will interfere more than anything else. And you can use the edges too. You can just go right into the edge and just cut that in there. Sometimes some of these neighborhoods, especially some of the older ones in New York City in particular, I remember as a child had these trees everywhere. They always really had these lovely, lovely trees. It was always part of, Central Park is a big part of New York City. There we go. I'm just going to bring in the bottom of these just a bit, just to define them. I just want to define them, just bring them in, or I think they might stop. I don't want to get rid of the darks. I also don't want to use too much. You use too much of the darks, and you end up making mud. But if you don't have any darks, you don't see any light at all. You're not going to see anything. There we go. Bring this one up here. Just bring it up just a bit. Make it all nice and spiky up there. I'm putting in more darks down below, of course, and fewer above, because there's going to be light above. But there are going to be some areas of shadow here and there, because you have branches and everything. You've got, these trees have little gaps in there, and there's also spots where there are heavier leaves and fewer leaves. You have to keep that in mind. There we go. We got this big guy down here, a big palm of a tree, as in a pom-pom, not a palm tree. I don't think palm trees would do very well in New York City. Yeah, not there's anything wrong with New York City. It's just, it's cold. It's too cold for palm trees. So I meant the big poof of a tree. Probably should have said that. Okay, I'm going to wipe off my knife. And I'm going to continue with some different kinds of darker colors here and there, just to round these guys out. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like being able to bring out the character of something just with a little smear of color. There we go. And get this guy going here. Now I'm mixing some colors together. Getting this all set up. There are some very beautiful areas in New York City, certain sections of the Bronx. My aunt lived in one, Van Cortlandt Park South, and it was very, very beautiful. The botanical gardens are there in the Bronx, and that's gorgeous. It's a little tame for my taste just because I like living in the woods. I grew up there, but even as a child, I didn't want to live there all my life, so I'm very happy where I am. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and I have to say I much prefer that. Oh, here's some nice dark colors. Yeah, you never know. Find some interesting dark colors here and there. Yeah. And these are not premeditated colors. I did not choose these colors. These are leftover colors, and I'm challenging myself to see what I can make with what is on my palettes left over from other projects. And I've been working on a couple of projects. Try to keep the studio running here. There we go. And if you'd like to help keep the studio running, please come on over to gulottastudios.com and check out the link to my Facebook page. And maybe you can help keep my studio running and able to bring more programs like this to you. There we go. I like doing this. It does have its costs. Web costs, data costs, paint. Let's not talk about the cost of paint. Not today. I'm in too good a mood. I don't want to talk about the cost of paint. Whew, you wouldn't believe. I'm all done with this one for right now. I might pick it up later. But in the meantime, I also want to get some darks deep in here. So I still have some darks left here, and I just want to pull them in. And this one's going to streak. There we go. Good. Right in there. Like a shadowy building stuck in the middle of the streets there. That sort of thing. Sometimes you get these shorter buildings surrounded by all these really tall things, and they get kind of lost. They get lost in there. They look like passages to nowhere. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. And then other times you can look up and see nothing but building, surrounded by giant structures. All right, now what I want to do is I want to work on my sky. It's a very bright orangey sky, but it does need some other colors in there. So I've taken 3 different blues. And I just want the blues to dance around here. And I don't have to use too many of them because I've already combined them a bit on the brush, just roughly. Well, brush, the knife. There we go, Dave. It's a knife, Dave, not a brush. And I just want to capture just the pieces that are sticking up. So it looks like the sky is bouncing around with these beautiful colors, but now it's beginning to look more like an actual sky on a hazy summer day. There we go. There we go. That's good. I like that. Yeah, nice hazy hot summer day. Because wow, summer days in the city, man, they get hot. It's all that concrete, it just soaks up the sun. Asphalt, just eats that sun up for breakfast. I remember as a kid being amazed that some of the roads were still warm at night in the summer. You could go down and actually touch the road, and if it had been exposed to sun all day, man, you could make toast on that. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I want to get some of this light here dancing on the edge of this building here, but not too much. Same with this one. Not too much though. But we definitely want to get some of those blues in there, because buildings like this tend to have a lot of glass on them, you know, and because they have a lot of glass on them, they will reflect the sky. So whatever's happening in the sky kind of has to happen on the buildings too, just a little bit, just a bit, just so that you can see that it's catching that sunlight and that blue sky and it's reflecting it right back to you. All right, there we go. I've got my blues in there. Now I'm going to go back to these very bright colors, these very, very light shades, and again, bring those in. Just bring them in. There we go. Good. Still want this to be a very sunny and bright piece. All right, I'm going to wipe off this knife. There we go. Oh, what fun. I really love working with these. I really love those. I believe Creative Marks is the people responsible. Now I got my little toad one here. It's got like these little fingers. I can just dance little spots of yellow where I need them the most. Just bring them in. Bring them all in. Just dance them around here. It's like sunlight, just bouncing all over the place here. Very pretty. All right, good, good. And I'm also going to use it to bring in some of these areas here for my little trees. And this is coming from dragging it. You just get the paint on the fingers there. You just drag it on. And it just brings it all with. Oh, some white in there. There we go. I'm just bringing in these colors. I want there to be a theme to the colors. So I'm not really looking at this from the point of view of this is how it looks in nature. This is how it looks to me in emotion. That's a slightly different animal. Just a bit, huh? Just a bit. Yeah. Bit of a different creature. Yeah, I think so too. There we go. Okay. So now I've got more blues to my sky, but I still maintained its brightness. And it's made it very exciting there. It's almost like its own little world there. I love that. All right. I'm going to go back to my fishtail one here. I'm going to go into these reds. I want these buildings to stand out. And this one brings little grooves and lines all through it. There we go. These beautiful lines. Just perfect for this sort of thing. And I got some darker colors too. I can go in there. And now it's just capturing some of that blue. This guy back here goes down. Put a little there. I'll bring just some of it here. I don't want too much there. I like that, Bill. I like the way it's looking. I don't want to put too much of this influence in there. There we go. Just scraping up some colors. Getting them into place. That's half the struggle right there. Oh, I got this guy in the background. There we go. Yeah. That's just over there. There we go. That's nice. I like that. All right. Now, I'm going to use this fishtail again. I'm going to come in to a brighter color. And just feed these little trees. And bring in these colors here right into the forefront. Just bring them in. Here I'm using more paint. And again, I'm not really doing a lot of blending here. I'm just bringing in these colors to kind of show it there's a shape in here. That's not building. There we go. Get some lighter color in there. Bring that up. Yeah, there we go. I like that better. I like that better. It's always good when I say I like that better. I've learned that. I like that better. That's a good thing to be able to say. There we go. I'm going to bring this one in. I'll bring that one in front of that one. Competing for the sage, that one. Still got some blues here. I'm just going to bounce some of those in here. There we go. Yeah, it makes kind of an odd greenishness, which I'm enjoying. There we go. That's great. Yeah, just bring it in. And here I'm going around in the direction that I see the flow of the tree shape. You know, to do it straight up and down, that won't look good. You got to go with how it looks, as if you were sculpting it. In many ways, working with a palette knife is more sculpture than painting. You're just sculpting with color. It's definitely more like sculpture, which is always interesting to me, because I've never really enjoyed sculpture until I started doing it with color like this. And all of a sudden I'm enjoying it. I guess it just needed to be colorful for me. I'm one of those kids. I need the box of crayons with like 120 colors. You know, always been that way. Yeah, there we go. We got some nice colors. I'm going to just bring these in. Just some, so you can see the tree bark getting in some highlights here. There we go. There we go. That's nice. Yeah, there we go. There, now they look a little more stable. And then next time, I'll be able to put in little indications of windows, little indications of all kinds of fun little things happening here. The details are coming up next. That's what's coming up next to this painting, which means we're almost done. Details can be anywhere from 1 to 3 layers. And this one's really taken such a life of its own that I think it's not going to take much. I think it's going to be very nice just being able to, yeah, get a little bit of that back in there. A little bit of that sky color. There we go. Just a touch more. And making it more regular than the sky, because the sky itself is very chaotic, but a lot of these glass buildings reflect the entirety of the sky, so it's nice that they've got all these warm colors that are found up in the sky. So there we go, just a little bit, there we go, there we are. Good, bring that in. All right, there we go. So I now have this ready. This looks like this has a nice amount of paint on it. If I go much further at this point, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up making it muddy. They're going to start blending and mushing together, and I don't really want that. I want these colors to stand out all on their own, kind of like an organized Jackson Pollock painting. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Hope he doesn't mind that I compare that. I've always liked his work. I know not everybody is a Pollock fan, but I do like his work. So let me bring the camera a little closer so you can see what I've been doing here. Now, well, we had it before, and this is now where it is. Oops, let me move that over. There we go. So this is where we've gone. So now you can see the progression from one to the other. Well, I hope you've really enjoyed this. I've enjoyed doing this. I'm looking forward to having this finished, and that might be next week. So very exciting. Hope to see you then. Have fun today. Keep on painting, and if you want check it all out on gulottastudios.com and have a blast with everything that's there. Thank you for viewing and have a wonderful day.